All right. Well, greetings to you all. Welcome to our Power Up on this fine day, on this Wednesday, June the 14th. It is a little chilly outside in the 40s today. And man, it is chilly, but you know what? We know this. It's going to warm up. And that's a good thing, okay? We look forward to the warmer time together. Want to encourage you, if you're just now jumping on, to share our power up so that others may jump on as well and be a part of the live stream or the live feed. And that would be a great thing for others to be able to jump on, okay? Also, would encourage you to comment throughout our power up as well. It's encouraging to read those comments. Trust that you had a good day yesterday. Man, looking forward to today. We've got our Bible study tonight, and I don't have one of the student books with me, but I got this book right here, Avoiding Confusion. This kind of is the teacher edition, and I'm excited about our next lesson tonight, looking at the existence of God. And man, it's going to be good. Hope that you are with us this evening. If you missed last week, be sure and jump in this week. It'll be a blessing, I am sure. And then also be a prayer vacation Bible school starting up as well. Okay. And then, another reminder. I forgot. This weekend is Father's Day weekend. And hopefully you are preparing for that. Man, we've got kind of a big weekend here at the church. Men and boys, we've got a baseball game on Saturday, meeting at the church at 4 o'clock. If you haven't signed up, I got a couple tickets left. You can still join us for that. We'll go out to dinner, head over to the ball game, all that good stuff there, okay? And then all on Sunday morning, all dads in attendance will receive a gift. And that's exciting. All right, here we go. Let's look. 1 Corinthians chapter 10. 1 Corinthians chapter 10. Look with me. Let's go back up to verse number 6, get some context as we're talking about the children of Israel and the examples. Excuse me, the example we're supposed to learn from here. Verse number 6. Now these things were our examples, to the intent we should not lust after evil things as they also lusted. Neither be ye idolaters, as were some of them, as it is written, the people sat down to eat and drink and rose up to play. Neither let us commit fornication, as some of them committed and fell in one day 23,000. Neither let us tempt Christ, as some of them also tempted and were destroyed of serpents. Neither murmur ye, as some of them also murmured and were destroyed of the destroyer. And now all these things happen unto them for examples, and they are written for our admonition, upon whom the ends of the world are come. But verse number 10 is where we left off, and we see this great challenge for us. This is a difficult thing for us, I think, as human beings. This is hard for us to get a hold of, get a grasp on in our own lives. Verse number 10, neither murmur ye. Okay? Just like we find the children of Israel murmuring time and time again, crying and complaining time and time again. We see this, neither murmur ye, as some of them also murmured and were destroyed of the destroyer. Let me tell you something. It is easy. It is so easy to murmur. It is so easy to complain about the things in this life. In fact, you know what? It's almost easier to complain than it is to be positive about something. I think we are naturally bent to look at not naturally, but because of sin, because of the curse sin, I think that we are bent that way to look at the negative side of things. And that's where the children of Israel were. God had, as he walked them through the wilderness, God had provided for them and met their every need, and yet we find them time and time again complaining. Yeah, it's so sad. We note, look what it says here, as some of them also murmured and were destroyed of the destroyer. I want to kind of give you one example here from the children of Israel as they kind of wandered in the wilderness, as they're being led of God and the complaining. And this kind of comes after the 12 spies went into Israel, the promised land, to spy out the land. Look at, if you want to go there, Numbers chapter 14. And verse number 36, okay? Numbers 14, verse number 36. And we can actually, you can look throughout, chapter number 14, and find this complaining and the results of their complaining. You can find it time and time again. Let's look at verse number 36. And the men which Moses sent to search out the land, so those 12 spies went into Canaan to spy out the land. You remember the song, 12 men went to spy on Canaan, 10 were bad and 2 were good. Well, the 10 spies came, gave their evil report. People murmured, they complained. It says, and the men which Moses sent to search the land, who returned and made all the made all the congregation to murmur against him by bringing up slander upon the land. How do the scriptures describe the promised land? A land flowing with milk and honey. It was a land that God had given to Israel. A land that, yes, they're going to have to fight for. They're going to have to clean house, but it was given to them, and God said it was theirs. They just had to go and take the land. We find that those 10 spies came in, complained. There are giants in the land, there are walled cities, all that kind of stuff, okay? And they made the people to murmur. Let me tell you something. Your spirit and your attitude influences people. Whether you believe it or not, it does. When you enter a room, what are you bringing to that room? Are you bringing joy? Are you bringing happiness? Are you bringing positivity? Or when you enter the room, people are like, oh no, here they come again. So what kind of spirit do you bring into the room? It says here that these 10 spies, they made all the congregation to murmur against him. Okay, so they, because of their evil report, caused the congregation to murmur against Moses and against God. Verse number 37, even those men that to bring up the evil report upon the land died by the plague before the Lord. Okay, and so we see this seriousness with which God judges murmuring and complaining. And let me tell you this, living that Christian life does not mean everything's going to go your way 100% of the time. Doesn't mean that life is going to be easy. But I would challenge you, when life gets difficult, don't cry, complain. Go to the Lord and just trust what God is doing in your life. We find neither murmur ye. This is an example for us to learn from. Verse number 11, now all these things happened unto them for examples, and they are written for our admonition, upon whom the ends of the world are come. And so let me just remind you once again, people are always watching you. And what kind of example are you setting? We find that Paul tells Timothy, let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believer in word and conversation, and so on. What kind of example are you? The examples we're learning from here in 1 Corinthians chapter number 10 are not positive examples, but rather they're examples on what not to do. And so we find as we continue here, it says, wherefore let him that thinketh he standeth take heed lest he fall. We can look at the example of Israel. We can say, man, I would never. Man, I can't believe they would respond that way to the word of God, to God himself. I can't believe they do that. Take heed. Beware. Watch out. That could be you. It says, wherefore let him that thinketh he standeth take heed lest he fall. Verse 13, there hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. But God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. Okay? There's no temptation, there's no trial, no tribulation that's taken you, but such as is common to man. That's the reality of life. Hey, God is faithful in the midst of those trials. And let me just kind of give you this final thought and we'll end. What good has murmuring or complaining ever done in your life? Has it ever made a situation better? That's something to consider and think about in regards to complaining. In my life, I find complaining doesn't help. The murmuring doesn't help. In fact, it makes my spirit worse in the situation. And so let's make sure that, man, we are above reproach in this area of our response to life situations, that complaining, that murmuring. Think of what the children of Israel had seen. God gave them food every day. God gave them water out of a rock several times. God gave them victory over their enemies. God brought them out of Egypt, and what do we find them doing complaining? God brought them to the edge of the promised land. The promised land, which means it's theirs, they just got to take it. And we find complaining. We find murmuring. Listen, the reason why we complain and murmur so much is because we have a woe is me attitude, a woe is me spirit. We need to get past ourselves, get past the, oh no, woe is me, our Eeyore complex, and let's look at what God has done and know that with the temptation, know this, that God is faithful. God is faithful, and he will provide a way of escape that we may be able to bear it. And that's encouraging, to know that there is that way of escape. All right? And so we're going to end with that today. We may spend a little bit more time our next time together on verse 13. It is a powerful verse, and powerful in regards to living this life. And so we may take a look at that once again our next time together. Okay? Awesome. Thank you for being on. Let me welcome those who have commented live and recognize them. Cliff and Karen, good morning to you. Jean, good morning to you as well. Have a great day. And yes, Kim, it is cold, but it is going to warm up, and look forward to seeing you at church tonight as well. Ingrid, good morning to you. Love you and have a great day. Jake, good to have you on this morning, or for you it might be afternoon, but good to have you on. And Ingrid, thank you for that reminder. We do have a children's group tonight. And so be sure and have your young people here if you can. They won't want to miss out on it. They had a memory verse last week. Young people, make sure that you've got your memory verse said. I think there might be a piece of candy for you if you say your memory verse to Mrs. Nieder tonight. And so don't forget that. All right, Jody, good morning to you as well. Have a great day, everybody. We'll touch base again tomorrow and look forward to that. But don't forget service tonight at 6 o'clock. And we are going to attempt to stream our service tonight as well. For those who would like to be a part of the class, but Wednesdays just does not work out, we want to be sure and give you opportunity to be a part of that class. Okay? And so look forward to that time together. Have a great day, everybody. Hey, let's put a lid on that complaining and murmuring, all right? Have a good day.